Footage of Eddie Hall hit the internet yesterday of him blowing his stack at some random people outside of his house. He was massively criticised online until he gave his side of the story. But let's take a look at it.
Just scared my daughter, Eddie Hall. See that? Scared Marnie then. I am? No.
Get out! Get out there! I'll fucking rip you down! I'll twist your fucking head off! All of you get out! I'll fucking rip your head off, you prick!
What the fuck?
My first thought was about Eddie. Is he okay? Because I've met the guy a good few times, always been a lovely guy to me, and generally I'm a fan of his. To see him like that irate, that stressed out, I just thought, I hope he's all right. I hope he's not gone through something here. And my second thought was the guy in the car was like, he's just scared Marnie. And I'm like, you're in a confrontation with a cage fighting world's strongest man winner, and you've got children in the back of your car, and your thought is, I'm going to stay and continue videoing him, which anyone would know is going to piss someone like that off when they're in the middle of a dispute with someone in a car behind. And you just keep your kid hanging around there for that situation. Like, what the fucking hell are you thinking, mate? So a red flag went off immediately. And why on earth are there 3 cars together outside of this guy's house? Like, oh, what is this, a fucking tour bus? Like, you know, you have the Hollywood tour buses in America where they fucking go, oh, there's Eddie Hall's house. That's not what this is. This is mental. Now, this was the explanation provided by the guy who uploaded the video. Big Eddie Hall coming, smashing our cars and punching me in the jaw. I mean, that just never happened just immediately. Didn't happen of the year. And scaring the kids for no reason and damaging the cars. We were nowhere near the house, literally right outside of his house. We went to a local pub to Eddie Hall. I'm assuming he means close to Eddie Hall's house, for my cousin's 10th birthday in the hopes of catching him there. Is Eddie Hall a children's entertainer now? Does he do, you know, balloon animals and that at local pubs? What the fuck are you talking about? This is such a blatant lie, by the way. They literally just drove to his house. Then we took him to show him where Eddie lives. What a way to ruin a 10-year-old's birthday. I love it. I love it. We were stalking Eddie Hall, assuming that he would behave like this was a fucking paid organised meet and greet when it's his actual home where his family lives, and we're confused as to why he wasn't happy we showed up. This is the best bit though. Not to mention the stress this caused to my missus, who's 37 weeks pregnant. That's your missus. You put her in that situation, you absolute clown. Eddie Hall's supposed to walk around knowing who's pregnant at all times. He's got this thing in his head. It's like gaydar, but pregdar. He just knows. Imagine your missus is 37 weeks pregnant and you're like, do you know what I would like to go and do? Harass Eddie Hall. Do you fancy coming? Of all the people in the entirety of the UK, by the way, I think Eddie Hall's top 10 on people not to piss off. Probably top, to be fair. The only thing that might make Eddie Hall not top of that list is that he isn't actually a nice guy, which makes this reaction from him all the more powerful. And I knew straight away there's a lot more to this. He also said, I would understand if we were causing trouble, but we were sat minding our own business. Imagine to say the words minding our own business while you're parked up with 3 cars outside of someone's house. That's literally the opposite of minding your own. If you were minding your own business, you'd be in your house, not parked outside of someone else's. I was just minding my own business. Literally invading someone else's privacy at the exact same time. It amazes me in the modern era, the mental gymnastics people are prepared to do to make it so that it wasn't my fault. I can't be held accountable. Accountability, it's like kryptonite these days. People can't take it. And you find that out more and more when you listen to Eddie's side of the story.
I'm just telling him to leave. You know, I'm just like, I don't want to hear anything they've got to say. You've been asked to leave politely. You've been asked to leave with a grunt. Now, just fuck off. Just get the away from me. Get away from my property. Get away from my family. Just fuck off. I don't want to hear what you've got to say. It's 9 p.m. on a bank holiday Monday.
Imagine at that time of day as well, right? Eddie's got kids. They're probably in bed asleep, right? And you've got these fuckheads outside your fucking door expecting what? Do you want to come in for tea, you cunts?
Blue BMW X5 parks outside the entrance to my property. So if you wanted to get in or out of my property, you couldn't. It's blocked.
On his fucking driveway. The cheek of it. And by the way, people may be like, oh, Eddie's overreacting or whatever. Most people I know, especially when you hit a certain age, you don't want people just parking randomly outside your house, let alone 3 fucking cars. It's perfectly normal to be like, what the hell's going on here? Especially if you're in the public eye, like Eddie, who's probably had an insane amount of issues with this sort of shit.
Alex noticed this straight away. She's putting the kids to bed.
That's fucking mental, that. The wife's in the middle of putting the kids to bed and you look outside and you see these 3 cars. You think, is someone going to fucking get out of these cars and come into the house or whatever? Like, your brain would probably run wild a bit with, what the hell is this for?
Okay, watch this gentleman now. He walks around, he veers into the property.
This is so fucking weird, man. I don't get why people think this is okay. We're not at a fucking meet and greet expo where he's like, you know, being paid to be there and he's literally sat in his house with his kids and you're just having a look in like that. That's mental to me. That alone, you deserve a smack in the face. Even though they haven't, you know, necessarily done that, you know, to Eddie. It's just cheeky.
I mean, that's quite intimidating, isn't it? 3 blacked out cars turn up, someone comes and looks into your property like that.
100%. That is, especially if children are aware of it, which apparently they were. You don't want people scaring your kids like that.
The gates are opening. Alex goes outside to have a word.
I think it's important to know that Eddie's wife went out first, right? Yeah, she's got the dog with her for personal protection because she doesn't know who the hell these people are. But it's not like giving like 0 to 100 immediately. It wasn't like Eddie went out screaming. They tried it the nice way to start off with, which proves, without a doubt, that it wasn't just let's go for violence immediately. They tried it the nice way. You send the lady out. She says, look, could you please leave? Got my kids in bed. They didn't want to fucking know about it.
These guys didn't want to leave. Okay, so Alex goes out, she explains to them, you know, come on, like this is like my kids are trying to get to sleep. You've been out here 9 minutes, you've been revving your engines, there's been cars beeping. Can you please leave? Can you just move on, please? Okay, and apparently the woman was quite argumentative. Just saying to Alex, like, this is a public road, we'll sit where we want.
This is a public road. You're literally outside of his house, look. Is this the one who's 37 weeks pregnant as well? Is this what you're doing to wind down on the way to giving birth, you fucking muppet? Honestly, you got to feel sorry for that kid. That kid's going to be born knowing my dad nearly got the shit beaten out of him by Eddie Hall because he wasn't smart enough to keep my pregnant mother in the fucking house on the way to pregnancy. Stupid twats.
We have got cameras, so we will be taking you back. Just keep moving.
It's a public parking.
Yes, I know, but you're sitting outside that gate like a weirdo, look. Move on.
No, we'll stay. You're not wanted. The whole reason you've come to this house is for Eddie Hall, and we're firmly telling you this is becoming a confrontation now. We do not want you. You have 2 choices. You can stay and escalate this confrontation, or you can leave and there will be no more. And they chose to stay and escalate it further. Imagine you've got kids in the car, one of you is pregnant, and you get the warning, a very polite warning from Eddie's wife, and you get the opportunity to go, we're not wanted, actually, let's... And with those kids in the car, you think, nah, let's risk it. Let's see what happens. Fuck around and find out. What on earth are you doing? You couldn't be shitter parents if you literally just drove your kids into a brick wall here, because you're literally picking a fight with a man who no one should pick a fight with. The fact that they behaved this way and had the cheek to go and write an account online and badmouth Eddie as if he was the culprit here, when he was the one just coming out being like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He was the normal one. He just wanted some privacy. What is more normal in the world than that? And the key here is they disrespected his wife. His wife kindly asked, no, we're going to stay. We don't care. It's public road. Once you disrespect the man's wife, what, you expect him to come out reasonable like? Fuck off. Your opportunity for respect went when you disrespected his wife. End of story. And I don't think any other bloke in that scenario, you know, despite Eddie being this big hulking figure, would behave any differently, right? Everyone would get out and go, what the fuck are you saying to my wife? Like, get the fuck away from this house now. I don't think anyone would act any differently to Eddie, really. In fact, I know a few people who probably would act worse. Maybe me included. That's one-way ticket to Arsekickville. And now, a word from our sponsors. If you're looking to book a holiday away in the sunshine this summer, then this could save you a lot of money. Saily is a brand new eSIM app. And what it does is it basically gives you a local SIM card that you can use when you're traveling, so you don't have to pay those crazy roaming fees just to send a text back home. And they've got eSIM plans in over 160 countries and 8 regions, so pretty much wherever you're going to be, they'll make sure you're connected. All you've got to do is click the link in the description, download the app, which works on iOS or Android. Buy your plan. You can choose the amount of data and time that suits whatever you need best. And then install the eSIM on your phone. And when you land at your destination, you can activate your plan instantly. And the beauty about it is you only have to download this once, and whenever you go anywhere different, you can literally just buy a different plan for that destination and boom, you're back watching me. And what I really liked about using this last time I went away to America is the eSIM was actually faster than the hotel Wi-Fi I had, and I got an unlimited plan that I could just scroll as much as I wanted, and I wasn't worrying about, am I using up too much data? So if you want to get connected when you're away, click the link in the description below, go to saily.com/Geordie and use the code Geordie, all block capitals, all one word, and you can get 15% off your first purchase. Big thanks to Saily for keeping us connected, but for now, enjoy the video.
I just go straight up to that car and I say, look, buddy, I don't care what you're here for. You've been asked to leave. F off. I don't want to hear it. Just f off. He tries to argue with me about something. I can't remember what he said.
Imagine thinking that you've got a counter argument to someone wanting you to leave their property. What possibly could you come out with that could change Eddie Hall's mind? Absolute mug.
I don't care what you're here for. Just f off. And he's like, what? I'm like, mate, just f off. You can see the aggression in his face. He's proper like scowling at me like, just like, how dare you talk to me like this?
How dare you talk to me like this after I'm stalking you? People just don't understand that yes, Eddie Hall is a celebrity, but he's also a human being with people he wants to protect and care for. And he doesn't want strange people sat outside his fucking house, literally getting out their cars and looking into his house. That's a perfectly normal reaction to that.
He then goes on to say something like, I just want a picture with my kids. And that's when I clicked that there was kids in the car. That's the first time I knew that there was kids in the car.
You've already been asked to leave and you've sat there with your kids in the car, knowing that this is escalating. No good parent in the world would put their kids in this situation. They're fucking idiots. And I feel sorry for those kids growing up with brain dead parents like this. I really do.
What about my kids getting all stressed out watching strangers lurk around their home? So I'm just like, I don't give a f. What about my kids? Just f off. I think I kept saying it 3 or 4 times. Just f off. Just f off. Just f off.
To be fair, he doesn't threaten anything until they start biting back. He actually does just want them to leave. It's not like he's just like immediately threatening violence.
Very slowly, he's got this horrible mean look on his face, and he went, I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah.
And I just saw red.
You can tell by the way Eddie changes and starts running after the car or whatever that he says something and then goes to drive off. Brave man. Brave man. Absolute pussy driving away with his kids in the car. You're provoking Eddie fucking Hall of all people while you've got kids in your car. Like, do you know how many good, decent men have been very capable of beating up the guy who they're having a confrontation with, but maybe they had their family or their kids with them and they take the L, they just, because it's not worth putting your kids in any potential danger. That's what a real responsible, a responsible person doesn't go fucking stalking people like this for a start. But sometimes you just have to do that. If someone's in your face or whatever, you got kids or whatever, that's what a man should do there. And this guy just thought, nah, I'm going to wind him up. Fuck it. And now his car's become a getaway car with children inside of it. Fuck me.
Saw he was filming and I thought, oh, God, the bastard. So I ran at him. I was just going to grab his phone and throw it in the bush. That was my intention. Didn't want to hurt him, didn't want to damage the car or nothing. And I ran at the car and I didn't even touch the car. It was literally like he just sped off and off they went. And then they continued filming me from up the street, saying I've upset the kids.
Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And the fact that they then went and uploaded this online is a classic example of clout by any means. First, they wanted pictures with Eddie in order to gain clout. They post them on their social media. Look, we met Eddie Hall. When they weren't going to get that, and they're supposedly fans of his, but yet they were more than happy to paint him out as the bad guy, upload this footage to social media so that they still got some form of clout from Eddie Hall. And this is a classic example of what happens when anyone gets any sort of fame, unfortunately, is to some people out there, you're just something to use, something to gain from. And if they can't gain from you in a good way, then they're more than happy to paint you out in a bad light and gain from you that way. It doesn't matter as long as they're gaining. And that's the classic like leech behavior. It's pathetic, man. And they sung from the fucking rooftops like they were the victims here, knowing full well they caused that entire situation. If they had never turned up outside his house, this never happens. And yet the narrative was, ooh, Eddie's a bad guy. And for a lot of people, it's easily believable because Eddie is a big, hulking figure covered in tattoos. Speaking from experience, that's a pretty hard image to live with sometimes because you just look guilty no matter what the fuck you've done. And this is a great example of you can't judge a book by its cover, but also you never can tell, despite how that looked at the start, the full story unless you've heard both sides of the story. And often, the one who sings first and sings the loudest is the biggest bullshitter. And Eddie had all the receipts the whole time, and he's made them look fucking stupid.
I feel like I need to really emphasize the stresses and strains that this has on a public figure's family. Now, for instance, if I take my kids to an amusement park, we haven't been for years, by the way, because of this. Every 2 steps, someone asks for a picture. It's for that individual person in their head, it's like it's completely innocent. They probably feel like they're the only person asking, but they're not. It is literally every 2 steps. And if I stop and do one picture, they just queue up. And you think about that, like I couldn't really care, but think about that from a kid's perspective. You go to an amusement park and you've got to sit or stand there and watch your dad do pictures all day. That sounds great, doesn't it?
Such a good point there made by Eddie in terms of context. Like, how are you bumping into this public figure? If someone like Eddie is with his kids and he is there to look after them and give them a family day out, leave him the fuck alone. Have a bit of respect for the situation that he is in there. He is not at a fitness expo where he's got people lining up and the whole point of him there is pictures. And maybe if you bump into him on the street on his own, I'm sure I know for a fact he'd be happy to take a photograph because he's that kind of guy. He's a nice guy. But in the scenario where he's looking after his family, that should be off limits, that. And he has every right, if he is with his kids, to say to anyone, not now, mate. Sorry, not apologies. I'm not being funny, but I'm looking after my kids today. And this is my priority. I haven't got time to take my eyes off of them. And anyone who thinks that's out of order, fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you how bad it gets for me, right? So, literally the other month, well, I said the other month, quite a while ago, Alex miscarried. Okay, we lost our baby. And as I'm walking out the hospital, okay, someone asked me for a picture. I said, not today, mate. Call me a prick. He went online, posted online. I said, he'll for a picture today. He's too big time, wouldn't do a picture with me. What a prick. And it's like, I can't even lose a child. I can't even lose a child without someone coming and ask me to stand there and smile for their fucking precious picture for Instagram or Facebook or whatever. It haunts my life.
Eddie is giving a great insight of the negative side of being in the public eye. And obviously there's lots of positives and he's had an unbelievable career, but you can see the toll it's taken on him. I mean, yes, he's also upset about losing a child. God bless him and his wife, how hard that must have been. But to not even just be able to have that moment like other people have it and be expected to put a smile on and take a photograph after having something as devastating as that happen. Even a man as big and strong as Eddie, you can see the impact it's having on him. And this is why people become recluses. This is why people just shut off and don't want to fucking go out anymore. Do you know what I mean? And like some people you know, the real narcissists love it. It's like more. Let you into every aspect of their life, and they just, you know, they can't sell out enough, really. But the ones who actually have a good heart on them and are humble, I think a lot of the time, if anything, they feel like, all this for me, this is fucking insane. And they want to go the opposite way. And you're seeing that in Eddie right now, in my opinion. And that reaction towards these cars is clearly just the tip of the iceberg of everything he's been through. And he's had enough. I think a lot of people who did slag him off, and there was plenty when this first came out, because they judged the book by its cover, working class, tattooed guy, all of that. He must be a thug. But you just don't appreciate what's on the inside sometimes. And Eddie has a big heart. And this is him getting to the point of enough's enough now. And fair play to him. I fully support everything he said. Just seeing him break down over losing a baby like that, it's brutal, man. I hope him and his wife are okay. And I think this whole situation is a great example of don't judge a book by its cover. And also, you never know who the real culprit is until you hear both sides of the story. Because these lot, they were singing from the rooftops about how Eddie was this and Eddie was that. And the whole time, they caused the whole entire situation. And they posted the video like they were victims. Unbelievable the mental gymnastics people can do. But it's easier to do that than take accountability, isn't it? And I suppose if they had have not posted it, they wouldn't have gained from the situation, would they? At least they've gained. I hope they've got what they came for. Yeah? The fucking pricks. Let me know what you thought of this whole thing in the comments below. How shit were they as parents for doing that with their kids in the car? I mean, it was absolutely mental. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Stay subscribed to the True Geordie YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one.